Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Home Alone, the Disney Plus reboot. Is it a Disney Plus reboot or just a Disney reboot?
I don't even know.
And the fact that the original director, Chris Columbus, does not think Disney should reboot this movie.
I think a lot of people agree with that.
I was actually shocked when they, well, no, I shouldn't be shocked. I shouldn't be shocked at anything Disney does. Once they acquired Fox, they immediately set their sights on rebooting beloved classics or making sequels or whatever that nobody asked for.
So they say reboot, I say Frankenstein. Because basically they're trying to reanimate something that's been from long ago, but change it in ways and piece it together with other things not at once. So
Yeah.
looks like they're going to Frankenstein it.
So we're going to talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about who is supposed to be part of this ill-conceived reboot, and for some reason we're going to talk about Donald Trump because that's all anybody talks about these days.
Right.
So anyway, before we do that, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, we're at 151,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Looking to hit 200 soon. Thank you. This was coming from IndieWire. I saw it last night that Chris Columbus, director of Home Alone, said, "I'm a firm believer that you don't remake films that have had the longevity of Home Alone."
I agree. If you're going to remake something, make something that didn't do well the first time and try to make it better, or that didn't succeed for some reason. Don't find something that's a cult classic and mess with it. And that they get Disney, that's all they want to do because they don't want to assimilate and change. They don't want to create anymore.
No, Disney stopped creating a long time ago. And it's so weird if you watch it's on Netflix, the movies that made us.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
It's really good. They talk about everything they had to go through to get Home Alone made and how it was a risk for the studio and how the house is actually a soundstage inside a school gymnasium.
Yep.
Which is weird because I always thought it was a real house, but it's not. But everything they had to go through to get this movie made, and it was a cultural phenomenon, and you can't replicate that. Same with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2016, I don't care how they would have done it. Rebooting something like Ghostbusters, you just don't do it. Ironically enough, Ghostbusters is also one of the movies that made us shows on there. So it's another movie like you don't touch it.
But they're going to.
They're going to finger it all up.
Because welcome to the current generation who can't do anything except repurpose everything that's already existed.
Yeah, and this is corporate mentality here. And again, this was a movie that shouldn't have been made. It shouldn't have made the money that it made, and it almost didn't get made.
Gosh, I remember it was in theaters because back then. Okay, you have to understand, back in the days of these movies, they didn't have a bazillion movies come out of the theater or at the studios. And a movie would stay in theaters for months. It wouldn't just be in for a month and then leave for something else. Yeah. It would be there for months. And I remember this thing was in the theaters for a year.
Oh, God, yeah, because I remember E.T. being in the theater for 2 years. Because, a lot of people didn't have access to VCRs back then.
Yeah, they didn't have it we have to get out of the theater so we can do it to home video. Yeah. It was, they had home video for this, but it was in the theater for a year. I remember watching the news and they were talking about how huge it was and how it's still around in theaters and it was still getting people to go.
Yeah, people would watch it repeatedly, and it was one of those once in a generation type movies. Made Macaulay Culkin's career. And it kind of typecast Macaulay Culkin for the rest of his life. But anyway, here we go. New interview with Insider. Chris Columbus rails against the idea of rebooting his beloved comedy favorite. The director revealed nobody from the Disney Plus production got in touch with him about jumpstarting a new Home Alone television franchise. Not that Columbus thinks a Home Alone reboot is even needed.
Right. Of course they didn't. Are we surprised that Disney didn't get in touch with the people that created something? Just we see this with different places like DreamWorks and She-Ra and stuff. They didn't. They didn't get with the people that worked on it before. They're just going to do it their way, and then stuff doesn't go as well as they'd like it to. Yeah,
and again, when a company owns something like this, and we talked about that with Cartoon Network. When they buy your idea and you get your show picked up or your movie picked up, they own it. They can do it without your involvement unless, you've got in your contract that you have to be involved. And this is why they can't get rid of J.K. Rowling from the Harry Potter movies.
Right. I'm sorry, this next paragraph, though. Oh, my God.
I was getting there.
Nails it. Yes.
I was getting there. And it does tie in with Harry Potter because he did direct the first 2 Harry Potter movies.
This is amazing. Okay, this is great.
This is what he said.
Yes.
This is what he said. He's pretty pissed.
He's pretty right on the nose, too.
It's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. What's the point? point, Columbus said. I'm a firm believer you don't remake films that have had the longevity of Home Alone. You're not going to create lightning in a bottle again.
Nope.
It's just not going to happen. So why even do it? It's like doing a paint-by-numbers version of a Disney animated film. A live-action version of that. Oh, this is called F.U. Disney.
Yeah, because everybody, I mean, and I can tell you for a fact, people in Hollywood all think this whole thing's a load of shit too. And they think that they don't like the new Star Wars movies. They don't like the stuff Disney's doing. They think that Disney is just trying to crank out stuff to make money. And they're about making money and not about making good film and making new things.
Yep. He said, so what's the point? It's been done. Do your own thing. Even if you fail miserably, at least you have to come up with something.
Yes.
You came up with something original.
Yes.
So now this is weird. Before the Disney-Fox merger, Fox was developing its own reimagining of Home Alone called Stoned Alone.
Oh.
With Ryan Reynolds to star as the leading role of an adult stoner who finds himself fending off robbers while over the holidays and high.
That sounds like Ryan Reynolds.
And God only knows what that will be, Columbus said. A stoner version of Home Alone. Listen, have fun. I just feel do something new. Life is short.
I agree.
Life is short.
People don't want to keep seeing the same things over and over. If they want to see Home Alone, to go watch Home Alone. People want new things. And they just, these studios, when did we make a lot of money? Back in the 80s and 90s. Let's just do that all over again. But we're going to change it. And then, we're going to strip mine it. We're going to change it. We're going to throw a bunch of 2020 into it and then go from there.
So, this is where they're at with this ill-conceived Disney Plus remake. They've got Keenan Thompson, who I actually do like.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about 90s, he's pretty cool. He's on SNL. But again, they've got the kid from Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
And the U.S. Office star Ellie Kemper, Rob Delaney. The film was originally rumored to be working toward a Christmas 2020 release because of the pandemic. It's been stalled out. It might show up in 2021. This reminds me of the direct-to-video Home Alone sequels they did that they should not have done. Except the Holiday Heist was okay.
Actually, the Holiday Heist was pretty good.
It wasn't terrible.
I think the second one, the first one was the best. The second one was okay. What they do a third one, and the third one
had a different kid.
Stupid.
And Scarlett Johansson, I think.
Scarlett Johansson was the sister. And then the Holiday Heist one I do like, but it's really removed.
Yeah, it was. The fourth one was they were trying to do.
That's right. There was a fourth one.
The McAllisters again, but they made them. They were different people. They were totally different.
Yeah,
people.
I forgot about the fourth one.
They got divorced, and it was. And then they did the Holiday Heist, which was not terrible.
Actually, it was so funny because our daughter was watching that just a couple days ago. They love the Holiday Heist one. They'll watch the original, and she was watching the original Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Those are the three she'll watch. Home Alone 2, and the Holiday Heist. She will not watch the other ones. So
this is never a good look when you've got the creator of a franchise, and this is par for the course with Disney because this is their mindset. When you have a creator of a franchise come back and be like, just stop, don't. Just don't. You don't get my blessing. George Lucas.
But not just
same
that.
thing.
If you watch like you said, the movies that made us, they went through so much crap to get that movie made.
Yeah.
They almost lost it a couple times. They jumped through hoops. It was ridiculous, the stuff they had to go through to get this movie made. And I would be insulted too. You come up with this cool movie, you do it, you make it, you have to struggle to make it, you have to put everything on the line to make it. It ends up being huge because of you and I worked with you and all the struggles they had. And now they're just going to use it to, revive it again because a name only to try to cash in. I'd be pissed too.
Because they're fucking parasites.
Hollywood pretty much everything now.
Hollywood is full of parasites. Disney is a nest of parasites at this point. They're not the company that Walt built. And
the thing is, there are people that are in these companies that are creative and are great, and they probably could do amazing things if they're given the chance. But they're not given the chance. The mandate is to do more shit like this, even though a lot of them probably have some fantastic ideas that would be new things.
Yeah, but it's risky, and that's the problem. As the stuff costs more, it becomes riskier and riskier to do new things. Again, Home Alone could have gone very, very wrong and cost the studio a lot of money. The plug almost got pulled on multiple times when they were working on it. And when a movie like that gets canceled, they're out that money. It's not coming back. Right. It's gone, And Disney is playing it safe. Again, he says paint by numbers with the live action remakes, and that's what they are. And
here's the thing: it's like he said, do your own thing. If you fail, you fail, but at least you did your own thing. You did something new, and that's how I feel about a lot of shows. There are shows out there I don't like, but at least they're their own thing, and I can respect that. Except for that stupid sci-fi magic girl show. There's no respecting that. And that animal thing that they have going on too, those things are just terrible. There's
but at least,
no way they're any good.
Well, they're not even like, because again, it's like riffing on other.
Right. So it's just like, even if I don't like something and it's not for me, I can respect and appreciate something that's new. What I really hate, and I think a lot of you really hate, is when they take things that are beloved, like Star Wars or She-Ra or these different things, and then they try to redo them, but they do it in such a way that is disrespectful to the original, and then they spend their time insulting fans of it that have kept it around for decades because they want to insert, frankly, agendas and things into it. Instead of going story first, they go agenda first, and people don't like that, and it's insulting. So I would respect and appreciate new things.
And I think we need more new things. I think what's going to happen is we're going to see this Hollywood remake bubble burst, and people are going to go for indie entertainment. And actually, Home Alone felt kind of like, again, you watch the making of it, the original one, it felt kind of like an indie movie that they were pushing to make this, this really offbeat Christmas movie. And
it almost didn't happen.
Almost didn't happen. Same with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters felt like it was kind of, did not feel like a Hollywood production. But then anymore, same with Star Wars. All these movies that Hollywood holds up and being like, oh, these are the pinnacle of Hollywood movie making, they started out as just being a passion project.
Right, they were all risks. And the thing is, back then they used to be all about risk. Hollywood, until the pandemic, had more money than ever, but smaller balls than ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm just going to call it like it is.
So not because, it's 2020, we got to talk about this. You got to apologize. This is also in that same interview, I believe, where he talks about how Donald Trump got his cameo in Home Alone 2, and a lot of stations I know, they cut that out, and they said, well, we just did it for times.
Oh, really? Did they?
Yeah, it's literally like a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of not necessary, but still, it's like, why they'll cut that out. Of all things to cut out, okay.
Yeah, well, we know why, but what was interesting was, because he owned the hotel. At the time, he owned the plaza.
Oh, so that was part of the deal then?
That was part of the deal. He basically said, yeah, you can film in the plaza, but I have to be in the movie. I
can see why I would probably do that too. Hey, I own this hotel. Can I just be in the background or something? I would do that too, probably.
He was in it for a couple of seconds. They were going to cut him out. But he said that the only way he could use the plaza is if he's in it. But they said he was going to cut him out, but they screened the movie, and people actually cheered when Donald Trump showed up. So that's why he stayed in the movie. But so we got to bring that up. But it's interesting, though, to get his thoughts, and everything going on. And I think you're going to find a lot of the older school Hollywood types, the people who actually built shit, have very little tolerance for parasites and usurpers.
Well, I don't blame them. I'd be mad too. You work so hard and you struggled and you came up with something creative and you see the struggles they go through and how it could have just all gone down the hole so easily. Yeah. And then they just like, oh look, it was lightning in a bottle. It's amazing. It's great. Let's change it.
Yeah, right.
Let's make it new. But we got to make sure that we put all the mandates in it. And then when no one likes it or people complain, then they'll call you names. Yeah. And then they'll be like, it's because of sexism, racism, phobias that didn't do as well as the original. No, it's called, you didn't need it. It's already been done, and people didn't like it. Sorry.
Oh my God, it's being directed by the guy who did Dirty Grandpa. Starring the kid from Jojo Rabbit. Okay, this can't possibly go wrong. Good luck with that, Disney. But yeah, I mean, he's just, look, I think he has a right. You create a pop culture icon, just like George Lucas. You have a right to tell Disney to sit and spin. Mm-hmm. They can't, they can go ahead and do whatever they want because they bought and paid for it.
Yeah, they own it, so.
But you don't have to like it.
But it would have been probably to their advantage to at least contacted him and had him come in as like, in some capacity, even as an advisor or something, or get some ideas. Well, if you were you, what would you do?
Not make
it, yes. But they could have asked some of the people, from the original. That just would be, one, respectful if nothing else. They wouldn't, for the new, Willow stuff. They went and got people back on board from the.
Well, Ron Howard's involved. Yeah.
They went there and asked them to come back on board. Even though I think they're going to ruin that one too. Why not here?
Because this is just. I think it depends on the production team. I think in this case, just Disney they want to milk as much nostalgia as they possibly can. They never ask if they should. They're just like, oh, this is a bankable IP. Our marketing people told us. Home Alone's back in vogue now because, all these 90s kids grew up with it.
It never went out, honestly.
No, it never did. But, it's like, look, you did a bunch of shitty sequels nobody asked for. There's only ever going to be one Home Alone 1.
Right.
That's never going to be
topped.
topped.
And it's beloved for a reason. Just stop dicking with things.
Yeah.
Go get a smaller wallet, bigger balls, and make something new.
Yeah, like they used to. Like Walt used to do. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.